readers, me here with a big glass of wine and my reading glasses because I've got a huge, and I mean huge, book haul from Book Outlet to share with you. So let's get started because we ain't got a lot of time. First up is Sisters of Night and Fog by Erica Roebuck. So, one of the things that Hitler did was enact a Nacht und Nebel, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, program. Anyone who was in the resistance or part of the resistance, he wanted to make disappear, as if they, like smoke and fog, night and fog. So as if they'd never even existed, so that their families would wonder what happened to them, and so no one would know, and instill fear into somebody. That book, Sisters of Night and Fog, is a fictionalized version of something that happened to real people in World War II. Next up, oh, that's heavy. I got Britain at Bay, the epic story of the Second World War, 1938 to 1941. I have been seeking out books by primarily British historians, but also historians that are not American, to learn about World War II from a different perspective from what I learned in school. Another fiction book here, Light Over London, and this one, someone's trying to forget her past, and she relies on she finds a diary from World War II and a photo of a young woman in uniform. This woman joins the auxiliary branch of the British Army, and again, another fictionalized account of World War II. All these books are going to be about that. So I'm going to skim through a lot of them. The War Librarian. Two Timelines. This is a World War I book set in 1918 and 1976. It's about a woman who works at the dead letter office in 1918 and finds a letter that bears a name from her past, and also in 1976, a woman is eager to prove that she deserves her acceptance into the first co-ed class of the United States Naval Academy. But that's not going to go well because not everybody wants female midshipmen. I'm going to put this up on the read soon list. Another British historian. This has been on my wish list for a while, so when I found it at Book Outlet, I could not resist. And it is actually one of the 100 notable books from the New York Times Book Review of 2011. And this is Andrew Roberts' The Storm of War, A New History of the Second World War. I've got some reading to do this in 2024, y'all, and I am excited to get after it. Okay. There are two books in here that I am uncertain about because they are by Danielle Steel. However, they have a connection, so I thought, let me give her a try. I just recently read A Knight in Shining Armor by Jude Deveraux, and it did not age well. Let's see how Danielle Steel does. The first one is Spy, and it is about, I want to say, a spy in recruited as a spy as a young woman in World War II. I'm going to add this one into my read soon stack as well. The next one, this one looks really good. It's a World War II novel about a Japanese-American boy, a French-Jewish girl, and letters that bring them together while war rips them apart. It is called The Light Between Us. I read good reviews about that. It is also going in the soon-to-read stack. Let me take a pause for a second. I'm not even looking in the box, I'm just grabbing books. Liberation, a novel, inspired by the true story of World War II's greatest heroine. Who might that be? Her name is Nancy Wake, and she is not someone I've read about yet. Fearless freedom fighter Special Operations Legend, a woman ahead of her time. Okay, everything can't be read next, so I will get to that soon, one day. The Garden of Lost Secrets, another two timeline, 1940 and present day, about the French Resistance, which I'm very interested in. Speaking of the French Resistance, next I have The Race for Paris, and in this one, it's a novel. It's another novel about the French Resistance and war correspondents on their quest to document and make history. So, that'll be read sometime. Let's see what's next. The Nine, another nonfiction book, the true story of a band of women who survived the worst of Nazi Germany. These women were all part of, dun dun dun, the Resistance. Oh, these next two books, I was actually looking at reviews on Amazon earlier because I looked it up when I bought them, but I needed to relook at them. The print on these is very small, so it's kind of like a hope for in 2024, but they are Diaries of the Nazi Years by Victor Klemperer. The first one, they're called I Will Bear Witness. The first one is 1933 to 1941. The second one, 1942 to 1945. I am eager to get to these. He was a Jewish scholar and became a diarist, and it was very dangerous for him to be keeping these diaries at that time. So even though they're not going to go on the TBR anytime real soon, I'm going to make a separate pile for them because I really want to read them sooner rather than later. Ooh, The Invisible Woman. This is a novel. Again, another fictionalized account of World War II in France, March 1945. Oh, 44. This is also going to go in my really read soon because this is about Virginia Hall, who I discovered last year. She is a legend in the CIA. If you don't know her story, I'll be bringing you one in January on her. Can't wait to read that. Dun, dun, dun. The Call of the Wrens by Jenny L. Wash. I realize I'm not reading every author's name. This is shocking. A novel about one of the world wars and a woman who served in the Women's Royal Naval Service. That'll go on to read one day. Lord, I got so many books, they just all fell over. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright, last one in this box. This was intriguing to me because I am a bit of a follower of the royals. I'm not obsessive about it, but I still want to know. This is called The Windsors at War. The king, his brother, and a family divided. And if you remember, if you know, the king's brother abdicated the throne so he could marry his mistress at the time, who was a divorcee, and that just would not do for the royal family. And they had some sort of, I don't want to say relationship, but they did have comms with Hitler. I've got so many books, I don't have space. All right, now we're digging into box 2. I'm not counting this. This is probably about 30 books because my first box that I got a couple days ago had 5 in it. Okay. Ooh, this one's a little bit different. This is called Switchboard Soldiers. I'm not sure if these were the Hello Dollies or Hello Girls or not, but this is about women who served in the Army Signal Corps during World War I, which I have been listening to on history that doesn't suck. So I'm not sure if those are the Hello Girls or not, but I'm going to read about it. Next up is A House in the Mountains, The Women Who Liberated Italy from Fascism. In the summer of 1943, yada, yada, yada. Thousands of Italians who joined the partisan effort to help the Allies liberate their country from the German invaders and their fascist collaborators. Okay, let's see what's next. But first, let's pause. And at some point, it might be tomorrow, I've got to take all these, including the mixed up pile that ended up on the floor, and I've got to log them into my app where I track my books. Next up is not, I don't believe, a World War book. It is called Kate Morton. It is by Kate Morton, and it is called Homecoming. Sorry about the reflection. This looks like a huge tome, but it is the large print edition, which, hey, I really like that. This is set at Christmas Eve in 1959. It's about a mystery and a Turner family tragedy. I am really looking forward to this one, actually. I love a mystery about death, so that's going into this pile over here that I'm going to read soon in 2024. Okay, random. Oh. I'm really looking forward to this one, folks, also, but it's not going to go in the soon pile. This is about Operation Columba, the secret pigeon service in World War II. I think there was a story about a pigeon in World War I who ended up with some medal. I know there was, and it really makes me sad. Animals being injured or dying hurts my heart. But this is also the untold story of World War II, resistance in Europe, and y'all, if you haven't figured it out by now, I love my resistance stories. Okay, I'm going to grab a hardback. Oh, see, I'm getting all excited about these books, and I can't read them all at once. The Silent Unseen by Amanda Macrina. This is Poland, July 1944. This seems like kind of like the All the Light We Cannot See-ish. About family and disappearances, a Ukrainian prisoner, and a sister searching for her lost brother. So, that looks like a really good one. Let me check out the font on that. Medium. Alright. Next we have The War Outside, which is a novel. An unforgettable novel of conviction, love, and betrayal that will move, stun, and shock you. It better. This is about a Jewish American girl and a Japanese American who are thrown together and become unlikely secret friends. Ooh, that looks really good. I remembered I had bought it. I did. Next up, this has got a sticker on it. I don't like stickers, but this is probably a stuck sticker. It is called The Daughter's Tale. I hate when they put a sticker that won't come off. Two timelines. You know that's one of my favorite. Berlin 1939, New York 2015, a box of letters and a family separated by war. I hope I like this. This is called The Kitchen Front. It's a novel about World War II. And this young woman is trying to pay off her husband, who is dead, allegedly, debts, and keep a roof over her children's heads. She works as a kitchen maid, and this is my favorite trope now, current trope. A BBC radio program called The Kitchen Front is holding a cooking contest, and I love a book about a cooking contest. I love it's set in World War II. This is going into the read soon pile. The Paris Apartment by Kelly Bowen. I waffled on getting this. 2 timelines, 2017, 1942. This is kind of why I bought it. I love a 2 timeline book. But I've read some books that are really romanticized, so I'm on the... Yeah, I'll get to that sometime. 1941, the year Germany lost the war, by Andrew Nagorski. He had a long career at Newsweek, and he's an award-winning journalist. I am going to check out the bibliography on this, why he thinks the war was lost in 1941. He's got a decent bibliography. I'm a huge fan of a bibliography that shows the sources. I read a book last year where the author almost literally, sorry for shaking the table, almost literally said, do your own research. It's out there. And he lost all credibility. I finished the book because at that point I was pissed and I was going to finish it. But I did not believe a word he said. And I'll just tell you what it was. It was Unmask Alice. I don't remember the author's name, but it pissed me off. If you're going to write something and state that it's true, show your fucking sources. That's the end of my TED Talk. Hey, I've only got like 3 left. This one is a huge one. Oh, this is one I have been wanting. It's been on my wish list on Amazon, so when I saw it on Book Outlet, I snatched it up. It is Richard J. Evans, The Third Reich at War. And, I mean, do I need to tell you what it's about? This is one I've seen. One more after this. Oh, I know what the one more is. This is one I've seen for a while. I think there's more in the Richard Evans series. I am going to have to check that out. And I do have a gift card from work, so if there are more of these, I might have to get them. But really, I've got to stop. I'm out of control. Anywho, I've seen this in the bookstore. I didn't pick it up. It is the untold story of the woman who helped, there's always a woman who helped win World War II and shape modern America. This is The Confidant, and it is about something I can't read. She. Who is this? Oh, Anna Maria Rosenberg. I do not know who she is. But I will find out eventually. Okay, last book is the second Danielle Steel book. It is called Flying Angels. I'm going to put this on the later pile. Look at these piles. They're huge, but I'll read Spy first. But Flying Angels is set after 1941 when Pearl Harbor is attacked. Nursing school, yada yada yada. These women enlist in the army and embark on a new adventure as flight nurses. So that ought to be interesting. Anywho, I am off to probably check my wish list on Amazon and see about the Third Reich at War and Richard Evans. Because I really thought, maybe I'm thinking of a different series. Anywho, enough of my rambling. Hold one. So, that is the end of my huge book haul. Basically, what I did is I went on Book Outlet, went through my Amazon wish list, found everything that they had, that I had on my wish list, and ordered it. And some of these books were more than $5.99, $6.99. I mean, if you're going to go with like a hardcover, or the Third Reich at War, you're going to pay a little more for that, and I'm fine, but it still was not full price. So, if you do like to read, first of all, check out your local indie bookseller if you have one. And if not, bookshop.org or Book Outlet. I adore this place, but I have got to quit it. And I've got to get control of myself in 2024. Anywho, that is all for me. This has been a long book haul. If you liked it, let me know. If you have any recommendations about World War reading, fiction or nonfiction, please let me know down in the comments. Obviously, I'm all about new books. That's all for me. I've clearly got some reading to do.